We just showed you a defense breakdown against Chargers. Another area, it's been a disappointment pretty much all season. Special teams. Seems like every week there's a problem with one or the other issues on the special teams unit. So here's another clip. Take us through this breakdown and what you see here.
Yeah, it's not it's not boxing a play. You're punting toward the sideline to box a player in. So once you turn him back inside right there, your containment have to filter him into a location. You have Jeff Swaim, 84 there, who just completely misses. You have poor pursuit angles to approach upfield. We're running underneath him, running over top. It's just not good enough all around to like the attention to the minor details right here between 37 and 84 there running outside when they need to be sort of split to keep a guy boxed into the sideline. It is disappointing because we haven't seen the Browns exploit many special teams units, but yet we've seen a kickoff return for a touchdown. We've seen long punt returns on multiple occasions, and on top of some of the special teams penalties. And I don't feel like the Browns are at some supreme disadvantage of talent in the special teams unit. So it comes down to people doing their job and the right players being put into the right places. And I feel like we can, without even knowing the granular details, I don't think it's hard to miss between 84, 37 there, who's in the wrong place to get a guy boxed into that, sideline there. But I just know that this team is losing on the margins, guys. They're losing on the margins of blown coverages, penalties taken, and special teams mishaps. Think about the Bengals game that was separated by one touchdown that ended up being the kickoff return. Right? There's several instances of this stuff coming back to really haunt them. I believe they had a punt return touchdown allowed in week 1 as well. So it's just not good enough across the board there. And the NFL is so hard to win between offense and defense alone when you're a failure in special teams, and they haven't even really kicked field goals and extra points that well this year. You start to scratch your head about how did they get to 2-7. Well, here's a pretty big piece of the puzzle. So I think Bubba Ventrone is a fine coach. I just don't think that, I know he would agree with it. They haven't been good enough. And ultimately, man, you can be a good coach, but your results are what speak for you. And that part of it has been a really big failure for them this year, especially bummer coming off of what I thought was a relatively good group as the year wore on last year.
Yeah, I would agree. And you pointed out Hopkins has struggled a little bit. Bojorquez has been really good for the most part. He has been flipping the field and doing the things you need. But yeah, you can't. If you're struggling on offense, you got to get a lift somewhere, and that would be special teams.